Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, the newly minted $137 million man, Jimmy Garoppolo, and the San Francisco 49ers take on Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. It's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
On first down, Garoppolo. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. A situation they'll certainly want to avoid going forward. An early second and long they're facing. Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. And Selleck here left side. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. A dump down to McKinnon. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for 15 and a first. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field can get...
Looking for Garcon, he's got him. Touchdown 49ers. Pierre Garcon, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. And the QB rating right now, sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. But I think 158.3 is the #1.
Yep, that's the
right. That's the
mark.
highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
Gold with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On first down, Wilson out to his left. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 2nd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, you know, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, you know, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try to get us ahead and try to keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10, down at the 31. Dancing to his left. And the tight end Dixon left side. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Wilson will throw again, eluding the pressure right. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. Now it's Wilson, buying time to his left. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
Well, that kind of catch is supposed to pay off with at least a 1st down, isn't it?
Instead, he'll just add it to his highlight reel, but they don't pick up the first.
Yeah, he gets the yardage, he gets the catch, but now they have a decision to make.
They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
As a running back here, you've got to do everything in your power to sell out for the 1st down. And he takes that to heart as he's going to dive his way forward, and he earns his mates a new set of downs.
Here's Wilson to throw. Flushed out right. And his throw here is incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it's 2nd down.
I like the play call. Roll him out. Give him a chance to run it or throw it. In this situation, he decided to fling it, but couldn't find his man open.
Throwing is Wilson, being chased out left. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 6. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a 1st.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a 1st down, but a big gain to boot.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7th. Wilson. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Now Wilson on second down. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this week. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on knees pose. His guys will go for 2 here. Throwing again here, Wilson. And it's caught. He's got it. So they go for 2. They convert, and along with it, they'll take an 8-7 lead. Well, they got down 7-zip. They said, we'll go for 2, one up you, and they take the lead.
How about that for a little risk-reward, right? If you don't get it, you're only down a point. Let's go ahead and make a statement in this ball game, and that's exactly what they did.
Out to kick is Janikowski. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Here's McKinnon. Able to push his way through. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
23 yards on the play.
That was really well done right there. That almost looked like a training camp drill. Able to get outside of the pocket, kept his eyes downfield, and found his tight end for a nice first down. Much more difficult play than maybe he made it look.
Penny, a first down carry. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage just come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Let's go to work. Come on. 18.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. On second down, here's Wilson. That's caught by Penny. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So 2 successful 2-point tries now for them.
And you know what it does? It gives you a boost, a huge one for your team because, hey, you're dominating them now. They can't stop you either scoring touchdowns or 2-point conversions. But how about the defense? You don't know what to do at this stage. You can't stop them in any direction.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
21. Here we go. 180.
Now McKinnon to start the drive. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done. When the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line.
I think by now it's been demonstrated quite well in the NFL that mobility is an attribute. But when you couple it with accuracy, you've really got something going. Able to get outside the pocket and complete the pass.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. Now Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
To throw is Wilson, and this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
This will be taken short. Look at the spin. Now loose football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Penny, and only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Here's Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
And being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's a give to Penny. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 2nd down, Wilson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and the lead is now 24. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Out to kick is Janikowski. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Goodwin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards for number 11. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He finds McKinnon, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, but he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I'm going to return punts, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the 49ers get a score closer. Now Garoppolo and the Niners will come up and go for 2.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays. run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wondered maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Wilson rolling to his left. This is caught. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
There's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though.
21. Here we go.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. Over the middle to Kittle, complete. The 20, 10, touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, most tight ends are often former wide receivers, or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Wilson wants to throw it, escaping the pressure right. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Well, throw on first down with Wilson. Steps away to his left. He's going to... There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
From the shotgun, Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. Out to kick is Janikowski. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, we don't want to call. He just waved a hand ourselves. Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Here we go.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. Caught left side, Garcon. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
21.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Garoppolo again. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Taylor. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
On first down, Garoppolo. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
21.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Minnesota Vikings come to town. Meanwhile, for San Francisco,